initiated, you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we gonna get down to the other stuff here in a minute. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So before we do anything else, vibe. Ebony, how you doing? Miss Blessed. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. We in this thing for real. Mystic Raven Medicine, how you doing? We're gonna take just a few minutes to let a few more people trickle in, and then you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in my front door. And in doing so, understand, this is not about ego. Oh no. This is about algorithm. It just helps us expand the platform. That way, if you're not trying to hear what I'm trying to say, at least let me get out to the next motherfucker who is. Hey, it's the Astro Girl, Quay. Hey, your readings are done, Quay. I'm gonna send them to you either tonight or in the morning. I got you. That's finito. You and your home, girl. Beats by ViBrATiONaL music. What's cracking, cuz? Yeah, I really felt the shift too. I ain't finna be talking about my health this whole live like I did last time, but I was feeling better until Saturn went retrograde. And then I started stressing and started feeling bad again. And I don't know which triggered which. I don't know if I started stressing and I started feeling bad, or if I started feeling bad and that made me start stressing. Either way, shit's fucked up. In Placidus, Saturn is transiting my 5th. In whole sign, in sidereal, and all that, it's transiting my 6th. And Pisces rules my 6th. And it's conjunct my moon. And square my natal Saturn. It's trine my sun and Pluto. And sextile my Neptune. While I'm also having Pluto opposite to Mercury. And Pluto square my north node. And all at the same time in the midst of a north node return. With Uranus in my 8th house coming into an exact sextile with my Jupiter in my 6th house in Pisces. So yeah. Fantasy and reality have blended together and created fear. Now I need everybody to hit the like button. Because we're not here to talk about fear. So if you haven't smiled yet today, this is my personal invitation for you to do so. Like right now. And if you can't find a smile for yourself, Just allow me to be the smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, all I am is the smile on your face. All I am is the motherfucking bye. Let that seep in. Or as Country Wayne would say, let that sizzle in your spirit. Shout out to the homie Country Wayne. We're gonna keep it cracking regardless. I need like 4 more people to hit the like button. Because I'm gonna need as many likes as I have people in my chat before I ever get it cracking. That means you need to hit the like button, like right now. We about 2.5 minutes from
It's a Flavor Boy exclusive.
setting it off. I'm sorry to hear that. See, we do have a lot of Leo energy out here, but the Black Moon Lilith is also with Leo. And we're going to talk about that here in a second as we go through the transit real quick, but you have to be careful what you create. That's true. I need like 8 more people to hit my like button. And that's just a matter of respect. Because if you hear it, you ain't gonna hit the like button. What are you really here for? You creeping? You hating? Oh. You swag sucking?
It's a Flavor Boy exclusive.
Here, take some. Shout out to my boy Flavor Boy, man. He put them drums in there, and that shit right there is live. Villanita, where you coming from today? You in Germany? You in Spain? You in the UK? What's cracking? Where's everybody else checking in from? It's 1:47 in Narnia. Do you know what your vibe is? Oh, coming from Bulgaria.
This a Flavor Boy exclusive.
That's what's up. Shout out to Bulgaria, man. Alright, we skipping that. We ain't going to that vibe. Yeah. If 2 more people will hit the like button, I'll set this shit off. So let's go ahead and get going. We got the sun. See, the sun is now at 1 degree of Cancer. And you might catch yourself in your feelings. You might see yourself expressing your feelings more than you feel comfortable with during Cancer season. See, this is the sun in Cancer, not the moon in Cancer. This ain't natural. Remember that. This ain't natural. Somebody can get you out of character. What you gonna do, call your mama? Nah, don't do that. And since the moon is in Leo, you gotta save the drama for your mama. Yeah, the moon is now at 22 degrees of Leo. Oh, so we in that critical point in this evolution of energy. Oh. And see, being at 22 degrees of Leo, the moon is sextile to Mercury, conjunct to Mars, square to Uranus, and trine to Chiron. So how you gonna deal with the moon sextile to Mercury? The best advantage you can give yourself is be willing to talk about it. Put your ego to the side and be willing to discuss. But with the moon conjunct to Mars, pride could get in the way with that. With the moon conjunct to Lilith, pride could get in the way with that. See, now that conversation becomes an argument. That argument now becomes a conflict. And then the moon is also square to Uranus. So, motherfuckers stubborn. Motherfuckers acting out of character. All of a sudden, you're reacting in a way that's not normal to you. And then finally, it's trying to Chiron. The awareness that you're just a human being. The awareness that you can be confident in the fact that you're going to make mistakes. False pride, that's something else. But confidence in the fact that you are a human being that's going to learn from your mistakes is everything. Awareness is everything. Do you hear me? Yeah. Now, with Mercury is now at 20 degrees of Gemini. So, with Mercury sitting here at 20 degrees of Gemini, once again, conversation, intellect, verbalization, variety. This is the way that the mind is going to kind of operate naturally. Now, it's going to be under the influence of whatever your Mercury is in your natal chart and wherever it is in your natal chart. But what you have to do is look at where this is in aspect to that. Or look at what else is an aspect of that and where it affects that. But what we're talking about here is Mercury being at 20 degrees of Gemini. And with Mercury being at 20 degrees of Gemini, that means Mercury is sextile to Mars and the black moon Lilith. Wow. And Chiron too, now that I think about it. Because it's a Gemini, yeah. Mercury is sextile to Mars, the black moon Lilith, and Chiron. So, action, acknowledgement, advancement, healing. Can you remember that? Action, acknowledgement, advancement, healing. See, Mercury sextile to Mars and the black moon Lilith. That means there can be some stuff going on where those conversations They do get heated. Pride does get in the way. People do have a conflict with how you coming. Like, for instance, earlier today, I got in my feelings because I'm sick of seeing people make jokes about the people in the submarine. To me, that's sick. I'm paying attention to everybody that make jokes, and that shit bothered me, and it made me think, man, you got some type of fucked up flaw in your character. Society in its own right is fucked up for that shit. That's another Neptune in Pisces and Saturn in Pisces culture thing, man. Nobody had compassion or empathy for these people's family. People made fun of them and made memes out of them. People tried to profit off of this shit by getting attention for themselves. Like, people literally made this go viral by playing about it. There's a dad that shot his 3 sons, lined them up in the yard, shot his 3 sons and wounded his wife. There's people that saw that, but nobody's really talking about that a lot because people caught on to that motherfucking submersible vehicle thing and just made it go viral because it was somebody caught it on the news or somebody caught an article about it. And people started playing about it. It wasn't because of the compassion and people cared. Like when you look at the fact that back a few months ago or last year when that stuff happened to Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills, when he went down, like that was a moment where I thought, damn, we made a move with the world. Like the world is actually, you know, 'cause people acted like they really cared. Like people really came together for that dude. Like people was like, man, like there was no bullshit or extra shit. There was like really genuine love that people wanted that guy to heal up and get better. Right? But then this shit like this happens. And I'm not necessarily Christian. I am a spiritual person, and I don't really follow any religion because I've studied lots of them. I don't practice any religion. Let's say that. I don't practice any religion, but I study several. But, like, the shit that is going on literally reminds me of the biblical end times. It's terrifying. And when it comes to this, besides that, what ended up happening is I got in my feelings and I made a post, right? I was like, hey man, I shot a slug out there because I see all these people making memes. I said, say man, everybody that's making jokes and sharing memes about those people in that submarine are really just exposing how trash their character really is. And, you know, I don't know what I said, but you know, I just basically said it's gonna be fucked up. Anybody could get in this situation. They never expected that was gonna happen to them. What happens when somebody you care about or your children are in one of those situations? And people, you know, most people show sympathy. Most people, or a lot of people ignored it. Some people show sympathy, and then there was a couple of people that kind of laughed at it. And when they laughed at it, like I got in my feelings immediately. And I should have just ignored it because they didn't say anything to me, but I immediately DM'd them and like, you laughing at that? Like, you think that shit is a joke? Like, and they're like, I know my character. And they were obviously offended from what I said. They're like, I know my character. I'm not a bad person. And I'm like, I don't know you. But judging by your reaction, something seems pressed. No, you're pressed. I said, okay. And so I went back and snuck and looked at their page. And when I looked at their page, I saw that they had several memes shared about the little situation. You know what I'm saying? And so I went back and said, man, like, you expose your character. You're sitting here upset because you expose your character because you think it's funny to make fun of, or you think it's kosher to make fun of people's demise, or to try to profit off other people's misgivings. And they were basically just basically just really pompous. Like it got into a really proud argument where they're like, fuck you, you're weird as fuck to me. And I'm like, maybe so, but you kind of have a fucked up mentality, or maybe you have a fucked up character. And they're like, one thing I joked about on social media doesn't reflect my whole character. And I was like, that's right, you are absolutely right, but all I can judge you by is what I see on social media here with you. And so from what I see, you're the type of person that makes fun of people's misfortunes. You're the type of person that makes fun of people's fathers and children's dying, people's brothers dying. No matter what their choices were. You're the type of person that thinks that shit is funny, being trapped or getting crushed. Like that shit, you think that shit is funny? And for us here, like, you think that shit is funny? But anyway, so we have this big blowout. But the fact of the matter is, when it boils down to it, I'm just trying to teach them. There's this sextile with Chiron. The big blowout, the big argument and the ego and me saying I'm a good person and them saying they're a good person and all that bullshit, that shit is obsolete. Because the truth of the matter is, the whole point of it all was to try to heal something, to try to make a point like, hey man, don't do that. Like, that's not right. That's not right. But it wasn't went about in the right way, because I came about it from an egotistical approach, or from a perspective like I was above the situation. When I've made plenty of mistakes in my life and made fun of people. I remember when I was young, I used to get in a whole bunch of trouble because my mom worked at the state school. And if you don't know what the state school is, it's not a real school. It's actually where people that are mentally handicapped would be, or people that were born with certain disorders, or people those type of nature. And my mom worked there for over a decade. But when I was there, I would be kind of scared of those people. And then I think one time I was making fun of somebody, and my mom put me in a room with my mom being a Pisces. She took me to work with her because she saw me making fun of something or playing like I was mentally handicapped, and she came and I was only like 10 or 9 or 10, but she came and took me to work with her, and she put me in the room with those people, with one of those people that had a feeding tube that they were just there. And knowing me, she knew my empathy and she knew my emotions. She put me in there and just said, hey, you need to sit in here. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to sit there and feel this person's energy. And even as a young age, feel this person trying to make me feel their energy and communicate with me. But they can't. And feeling the anguish in that room. It wasn't even sadness. It was frustration and just, you know what I mean? And so the way that my mom taught me that, like, at the end of the day, that taught me a different level of compassion. But sometimes when I'm trying to do something because my Mercury is in Leo and I can come across as being pompous or like I'm above you, or I'm trying to tell you something, when I should just be trying to let it be known, hey, I love you. I don't want you to go out like that. And so with this right here, with Mercury sextile to Mars and Chiron, just be cognizant of the way that you're dealing with people in your communications, because ego can get in the way of you really learning something. Ego can get in the way of y'all really finding healing. Pride can get in the way of you and somebody really, really, connecting and having some fun too. This is Gemini and Leo. So think about it like that also. Now, what else could I say? Well, nothing. Let's go to Venus. Because Venus is now at 14 degrees of Leo. And so Venus is really loosely conjunct to the moon. Well, really it's about 80. So I say that's not conjunct, but loosely conjunct to Mars and the black moon Lilith. And so with this right here, this could be an incredibly passionate time. It could be an incredibly interesting and fun time in some people's life. But once again, in relationships, it could get dramatic. Like, things could literally get extremely dramatic for a lot of people. And, for whatever the situation, like, things that usually wouldn't be a big deal can get blown out of proportion. Even within our personal relationships, you can see stuff kind of just get to a point with people where it's like, let me turn this down a little bit. Where it's like, you're not meeting my needs. You're not giving me enough of what I require. So it's like, you say I'm your heart, but you're not putting your heart into this interaction. What you gonna do about that? The same thing goes with people's creative endeavors. If you are trying to create something of lasting significance, you gotta put your heart into it. All right. Now, let's go to Mars. Because Mars is at 19 degrees of Leo, and Mars being at 19 degrees of Leo is the bold approach, to say the least. And Mars is square to Uranus and trying to Chiron in itself. So, stubbornness, erraticism, not eroticism. That could come into play too, but that's going to be erratic in itself. Inconsistency in your energetic expression. Yeah, all that. So, let's just say the only way to work through that with Mars is to use the trine with Chiron. Awareness, learning from every situation. Learning from every situation. And the best way to learn from any situation is awareness and to face it head on. So what you gonna do? Yeah. Now, Jupiter. Jupiter is at 7 degrees of Taurus. And we've talked about that. This is just about being receptive, staying patient, letting things accumulate, and enjoying every step of the journey. You can profit right now. You could also find yourself being lazy or hedonistic. How many of y'all are into hedonism? Now, where else are we going with this? Jupiter is still sextile to Saturn. And that just adds practicality and boundaries to the things you're trying to accomplish. You know, it's scary in a way, but it's also like being able to temper everything with a little bit of realism, with a little bit of rationality. All right. Now, let's talk about Saturn. Because Saturn's at 7 degrees of Pisces, and Saturn is retrograde until November 4th. And what Saturn retrograde in Pisces just means is Saturn is going to focus on people that have placements between 7 and 1 degrees, or 7 and 0 degrees, really. Or let's say 8, because it's right now would be influencing 8. 8 to 0 degrees of Pisces, or the other mutable placements, or of water signs, or of earth signs. All right. And that could mean a lot of different things. For some people, it's going back over the things that you tried to avoid again. For other people, it's fears coming back up. But this time you know what to do. So it's up to you to do something about it. You can see once again, you know, people like myself starting to focus on health again, whether it be mental health, physical health, spiritual health. You can see people like just really be forced to deal with things. But luckily, the retrograde is going to help you get through this. The retrograde is not necessarily as pressing as it being direct, but for those few degrees, there is going to be a focus on it, and there is going to be this lingering. That's, hey man, you got to do something. Like, this is going to linger there because you got to do something about it. You got to do something about it. Wherever this is affecting you, you just got to do something about it. And there's gonna, the other aspects are going to give you the tools that you need to really do what you need to do. All right. Look at the placement of where Saturn is. Now, if it's conjunct to something like it is for me, like your moon, you're going to look at that. But other than that, you would look where the placement where Saturn is, but then look at the aspects it's making to see what tools you have or what's going to conflict you in dealing with this, what problems there might be with dealing with this, wherever it is right here. And that right there kind of gives you the best way to deal with it. But either way it goes, this is just a time where some would say it's karmic, but Saturn is karmic in its approach anyway. And karma does not have anything to do with your consequences. Karma just has to do with your energy playing out the way that it's supposed to play out. This is the course you set for yourself in this life, so you have to live that out and deal with it in your way. That's why sometimes a lot of people who are more higher in their spiritual understanding aren't going to interfere with anybody's personal path, no matter what danger they might even be putting themselves into, because that will be interfering with their karma. That's interfering with what they signed up for and what they did that, you know, for themselves. So with this right here, just say, hey, there's certain things you got to deal with. This stuff is here. This is sitting here for a reason. What is fear going to do for you? What hinder you? Drain your energy. Have you sitting up here looking like me? Which that ain't too bad, but still. I'm stressed to the max. Now, let's look at Uranus, because Uranus is at 21 degrees of Taurus, and damn, that's hit me too. That means Uranus is in my 8th house, which is scary enough on its own if I didn't have all these other scary ass aspects going on. But now, with me having health issues, it is exactly sextile to my Jupiter in my 6th house, which is at 22 degrees. Shit. So, with Uranus at 21 degrees of Taurus, look. The thing is, this is not a stable time. We're not in times that are going to be stable. You know, this energy of Uranus is frustrated in Taurus because it's having to, you know, it's having to be stuck in one place. Uranus doesn't want to play it safe. Uranus don't want to play it safe. Taurus is safe. Uranus wants chaos. You learn from chaos. You're able to adapt and evolve. You have to keep an open mind when chaos is going around because you don't know what to expect. That's why it's exalted in Scorpio. The same reason that the moon is exalted in Taurus is the reason that Uranus falls in Taurus. The same reason that the moon falls in Scorpio is the same reason that Uranus is exalted in Scorpio. So, let's just say, instead of searching for stability and getting stuck in your ways, you have to be open-minded and adaptable. And that right there will give you unique opportunities to profit. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay. Now, Neptune is at 27 degrees of Pisces. And man, you want to talk about Neptune being in Pisces? Let's once again talk about people taking pictures instead of showing compassion. People making memes instead of having empathy. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the world being connected in a way that it's never been connected in any realm. Because of social media, you can deal with people across the globe. Because of internet access, like People are able to look face to face with people from across the motherfucking world. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. But instead of that making people become one universally and becoming more connected, we become more disillusioned. That's Neptune in Pisces. Motherfuckers dazed and confused. Hold on, let me look at this real fast. That person I was arguing with earlier about, or that I got on about the submarine, is trying to send me pictures and stuff, trying to convince me that they're a good person. Yeah, she's sending me pictures saying, not me being an ugly person again. Tragic, really. She must be a Cancer. I'll just say, you must be a Cancer. Like, leave me alone. I don't give a fuck. I told you what I had to do. I did my preaching. I'm not trying to argue. We'll be all right. Anyway, hey man, don't get confused by the externals. Don't let all that bullshit that's going on with other people and their agenda and their projections and their expectations keep you from your purpose. Your purpose lives within your soul. Hold on. Hold up, y'all. I gotta send this text. I'm sorry. Let me get back in the cameras, though, at least. All right, y'all. My bad. And my Mercury and Leo can't let nobody make it. If you want to argue, we arguing. Fuck it. This is what I came here for. This is what type of person I am. Now I gotta put my trump card. Last thing real fast. Now, my bad, y'all. Back to regular schedule programming. Back away from the argument. I've been told I'm weird twice today. Maybe it has to do with Saturn being conjunct my moon and that being inside of Bishak. Anyway, let's now look at the fact that Neptune is sextile to Pluto. So, hey, there is a painful process of growth and change coming into play here. But you got to find your purpose for that. Pluto is this painful process. Finding the grit and determination to keep pushing no matter what's going on. But with Pisces in there and Neptune, you can't get confused or disillusioned because that's there too. No, you have to find purpose. You have to find your muse. You gotta find your muse. Hold on. Alright, I'm about to be done. Anyway, I'm done with that for real. I just love to argue. It's the Leo in me. I'm blaming it on Lilith. Arguing makes me feel better. I feel physically better when I'm arguing. I feel alive. Anyway, maybe that's the Libra rising in me. But let's look at it like this. With Neptune sextile to Pluto, when they say what don't kill you only makes you stronger, that's real. This is Capricorn and Pisces. You just gotta believe that it will. Alright? And what else we got? We got Chiron at 19 degrees of Aries. And hey, you just got to be aware of what you have going on. And through awareness and acknowledgement, you can then push forward. And you can't be nobody's bitch. You got to take action. You got to be action oriented if you want real growth right now. Now, your Black Moon Lilith is at 18 degrees of Leo. So Chiron is trine to the Black Moon Lilith. So awareness and action is great. But ego, pride, that's only going to cause conflicts. That's going to get in the way if you really do what you need to do. You got to be able to keep pushing forward without getting stuck. And you can do that because you have the passion to do for it. So that's beautiful. This is fire. The passion is there. The enthusiasm for growth and change is there. You just can't let those stubborn, egotistic qualities win. Just don't do it. Now, let's go ahead and look at the nodes. Because they're at 2 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio, respectively. So, hold on. With the nodes sitting here, we're coming to the end of this right here. Like, this is where you gotta choose life. You gotta choose life, man. You gotta chill the fuck out. You gotta calm the fuck down. Everything ain't gotta be complicated. You can't let fears, you can't let destruction, you can't let toxicity, you can't let your old ways, your old habits, you can't let that shit win because it'll kill you. It'll kill you. Stress, strain, the need for control, that shit will tear your ass up. You gotta let go. You gotta let go. And that's coming from the real side of my motherfucking heart. You gotta cool them jets before you end up with some regrets. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the numerology of the day. Because we're in that 8 vibration. Speaking of Taurus and Scorpio, we're in that 8 vibration today. And having that 8 vibration, also being influenced by the date being that 22. This is big. This is where you boss up. This is where you take control of your own destiny. It's funny that we're at 22 degrees of Leo, and that's where we're at. Like, and it's 2:22 in Narnia right now as I say that. It's crazy synchronicities. And we're talking about the nodes being at 2 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio, respectively. And I happen to be at 11/2. My lucky number is a 2. So let's look at it like this. Today, use your connections. Today, use your influence to change. Help somebody else change. Motivate, inspire. Take control of the situation with your energetic expression. Create a vibe. Make somebody feel good. Take control. That don't mean be tyrannical. You don't have to be dictatorial. That's one of my favorite words. Dictatorial. Because are you being dictatorial? Or do you want a dictatorial? Some people are capable of both. Hit the motherfucking like button. That's one of my favorite shits. Just like that. So, I think that's all I have to say about the transits. The floor is now open for any questions y'all may have. We're gonna vibe for another hour and 15 minutes or so. So, vibe. I feel pretty good in this live, though. Anna Rosabella, how you doing? No, that's not what I want. Nah, I'm good, bro. That's not an everyday thing. It's not always like that. Moon in the 4th house in Sagittarius. I mean, you were probably raised up in either a military or, let me turn this down a little bit. You were raised up in either a military or a spiritual or religious household. And, like, at the same time, like, you were always the type of person who had your own belief system in your own way. And you wanted to find out for yourself what the truth is. And you have what I would call a positive spirit. Like, so there's not a lot that gets you down. And you're not scared of very much either. You're willing to try just about everything. Because for you, it's about the experience. It's what you can learn from it. Even in your interactions with people. You're never messed up when somebody moves on with their life, or you have to get away from somebody, because you feel at home within yourself. You feel at home all over the world. And so you just understand that, you know, everything is an experience. Just like that. You're spiritual by inclination. Maybe because you were raised up there, or maybe because that's your only hope. Now, that could mean a lot of different things in itself. My blunt is coming apart on me. It's gonna make me mad. There we go. ViBe. What's cracking, Natal Muse? We cooling like a Band-Aid in the cut. "13 Moon Lily," you said Khalifa Kush. No, I don't smoke Khalifa Kush. I forgot what this is called. I think this is called Fuzzy Navel, or maybe it's called Hercules or something like that. I did the fruit on this bitch. Yeah, I made some of these. When you hear that damn, that's my tag. So I do own the rights to this music. Ada Muse says she's planning Shroom Lemonade this Saturday. Why not? Hey. Do your thing. Astro Girl Quay, Leo Mercury in the 12th house in Synastry. So, let me get that right. Their Leo Mercury is in your 12th house? Let me remember. Let me think back to your chart. I just did your chart. I can't even remember what your rising sign is now. Oh, you a Virgo rising? So their Leo Mercury is in your 12th house? All right. I got it now. That's an interesting thing to see. Because that's one of those things where you're going to have to find a balance, because, like, you like to keep things low key. You like to things keep, especially within those relationships, until you really know what's up. And they're the type of person that just, you know, they're extravagant in their approach, and they're the type of person that, boom, sir. There is some things where there is this connection, and you can feel like, damn, like I really fuck with that energy, because that 12th house is there. But there's also this thing where it makes you uncomfortable sometimes, because it's out of your comfort zone. Like sometimes the way that they act, the way that they approach things, the way that they get out of character, the way that their character is, the way that they coming at you, the way that they want to do stuff is just not really, you know, within your normal realms of operation, because you like to keep things more low key, and you like, you know, maybe, you know, on the low even, you know, and you know what I mean. You're the type where what's understood ain't got to be explained. But that motherfucker be doing so much sometimes that you constantly having to explain it. I know it. It's what I do. And I just so happen to be the best. Yeah. Damn, I thought that bitch was hidden. That's how you know you're smoking on some sticky, and you rolled up a blunt the right way. And when you're using green leaf cigars. But I'm also at the point where I'm probably gonna have to quit smoking, because that right there could be irritating my shit in itself. So, as much as I love it, because I smoke tobacco on the leaves and I don't really smoke tobacco or do anything else like that, just might be something else I have to cut out here soon. And I'm willing to cut out whatever it takes to fucking live. For real. Now, Ebony, you said Taurus, 2nd house, Jupiter, 6th house, Leo, 10th house, Sagittarius, Uranus, Saturn, and Capricorn, Neptune. Old boss been asking you to come back for 2 years and you haven't responded. He didn't value you then. And you said you got to tell him off and add tax if you return. Yeah, you're gonna have to. With that right there, I would just say for you to assert yourself there, you would have to speak up for yourself and let it be known that you're not accepting anything less, and that you felt underappreciated last time, and it's easy for you to go work anywhere, and there's plenty of or just ample opportunities for you, so you don't have to kiss anybody's ass. So if he can respect you and you're gonna be respectful and you earn that, then y'all should be able to progress beautifully. All right, but that Capricorn Neptune, which I have too, can kind of make you be like, man, unless they're gonna pay me more, I'm not even considering it. Because that Capricorn Neptune, even though it sees forgiveness, it doesn't necessarily forgive. It has to see the benefit of that forgiveness. That's the truth of that. Ada Muse, you said synastry with your boyfriend is not easy, but your ascendant creates loads of trine with his personal planets. Can only ascendant and fixed lift the connection? There's all kinds of stuff that can lift the connection, and just because y'all have harsher aspects in other ways, or that doesn't mean that it can't work out. And synastry is not the be all end all. Synastry is not compatibility; it's synastry. It's look at the interaction between those planetary bodies. Now, how those people deal with those interactions and deal with those conflicts also speaks a lot to how they were raised and their character and a whole bunch of other benefits there. So just look at it like that. I feel you, Ebony. Now, Serafina, you said energy on your natal Mars, Aries in the 11th house, in trine with transiting Venus and your natal Venus in Aries. And so what's going on with those trines? I would say this is a time where you're kind of maybe more extroverted than ever. You're kind of maybe even coming out of your shell in a way, and your confidence or even your fearlessness is gonna make people kind of want to be in your presence, and people are gonna start to see you winning with those trines. But it's because you right now have kind of a renewed passion in your life, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for some type of other area of your life, whatever that is. But you're starting to get this renewed passion, and that gives you a renewed vibrancy, and it allows you to apply yourself more effectively in all types of tangible ways. my phone. Right here is hitting me in the heart. What's up, Bodion Brittany? Yeah. Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in my front door. Or should I say my bedroom door? Ooh, it's raining outside too? That's for sure. Yeah, real. I hear you. Reflection, you said your girl has a Pisces Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, and South Node. What does that mean? I mean, she has an artist soul. That's what it means. But she's slippery. She's very slippery. She's a hard person to pin down. She is feeling, she is vibration, but beyond that, she has this mystical otherworldliness to her presence with all of that. Sometimes she can seem like she's out of this world. Hold on, let me close my blinds real fast. We got a beautiful thunderstorm in Narnia. I'm loving that. Thank you for the love in the Cash App, Serafina. Let me put my Cash App up. Because for the people that gonna hit that super chat, if it's available to you, hit that Cash App instead. Because YouTube takes 40%, sometimes over 40% of everything that gets given here or that I earn here. And that just ain't fair, is it? So that's the Cash App pinned up there. And there is a Venmo and a PayPal in the description. And I don't ever expect anything, but a fair energetic exchange is a fair energetic exchange. But luckily for you, I have a Pisces moon, and Saturn is conjunct my moon, so giving is the only thing that makes me feel better. Helping people is the only thing that makes me feel better. So the more I'm here to help, the better I feel. And I fucking need that. And I will be here tomorrow with the top 5. My appointment for tomorrow got rescheduled with my readings that I had set up for tomorrow, so I will be able to bring the top 5 tomorrow, barring any type of extravagant surprise coming up. But I'm also gonna come live for a little bit at least on Monday, probably, which is my birthday. Yeah. For real. So, Bodion Brittany, you said your ex has a Scorpio Sun, Moon, Mercury, conjunct Pluto in Scorpio. Like, you just want to know my opinion on that. I mean, of course, that's a person that's deep, and they're the type of person who you have really intense connections with because of the way that they feel things on such a visceral level. But they also can be controlling. There can be a lot of power tripping. They can be scared of their own vulnerability. So, as intense as it can be, sometimes it can lack intimacy as far as emotions go. Now, sexually, it's about as deep and far as it can go. But beyond that, It's like everything has to be a struggle with them. Everything has to be a battle or some type of war. Everything has to be more complicated than it has to be. And so sometimes that shit is fun and it's intense and it makes for people who seem so powerful. But other times that shit just gets chaotic and exhausting. So there's that about him. Or her, whoever it was that your ex is. Now go tell him you've been fucking with the best. Yeah. Oh shit. I clicked on YouTube and saw me. Now go tell him you've been fucking with the best. Let me turn this down. Yeah, there's me. Anyways. But oh, I like that shit right there. Now, Temptress the Enchantress, you said there's this Mercury and Gemini transit do anything specific for people who have Mercury and Gemini natally? Sure. Sure. It would be a time where you see certain options open up wherever house this is gracing for you. This is a time where you start to have more lively conversations with people. This is where life gets more interesting altogether. So yeah, because Mercury is ruling Gemini, and then you're also having that Mercury return and all of that there. That just is one of the times where you're going to be learning the most and where you're going to be open to learning the most and where you're going to be most communicative and expressive, and also where you're going to see your options open up because of that. So that's beautiful in its own expression. Now, let's see this. Serafina said, somebody with natal moon conjunct transiting North Node and Jupiter and Taurus in the 5th. Shit. I would just say this is the type of time in their life where they're learning how to calm down and be more comfortable in their own skin. Let's just look at it like that. Because the moon is exalted in Taurus and it's just calm like that. So calming down, being comfortable in your own skin helps you value yourself more, and that helps you stay on task with your destiny. So that's how I would look at that, most definitely. What's next? Who else? 13 Moon Lily, you said transit Uranus opposing your Mars and Pluto in South Node. Shit. Sometimes it feels like you're out of control with this. Sometimes it feels like the circumstances have forced you to act out of character and you feel like shit is just beyond your control. I'm loving that rain. Shit's a trip. Young God, you said, what's up, family? What can I say about Jupiter and Libra, square Sun and Capricorn in Synastry? That Jupiter and Libra person is real cool, and you know they're a people person, and they're the type of person that can get along with anybody, and they keep a thing about themselves where like anybody and everything is useful, and you know they just want things to be harmonious. Well, that Sun in Capricorn don't give a fuck about harmony. They're trying to accomplish something. That Sun in Capricorn is more or less kind of rude in the perspective of the Jupiter and Libra. And so the Sun in Capricorn is trying to do something in life. It's not caring about getting along with anybody. So there's the square conflict between those two. Which is interesting in itself, ain't it? I gotta turn this camera off right here, or just get it off YouTube. Hold on, because this Leo energy is getting me, and I will say something to y'all right here, and then look for my reaction look real fast because I know there's a delay there has to be a 1 second delay in between the reception here and what I'm expressing here. And so I'll say something to y'all and look down real fast and distract myself trying to look at my own, what I just said. Look at myself here. Somebody come get him. I got Venus in Leo. It's my fault. I would literally be sitting here feeling like shit and go look in the mirror like, man, but you look good though. I think you all right. You're still glowing. That is, young guard, that is a clash of priorities. That is. What I explained was a clash of priorities. Exact same thing. That person is relationship oriented. That person is about harmony. That person is about working together. That person is all that. And the Sun in Capricorn is not really, is not really focused on that. They're focused on doing something to make their life better, or to, to get up out of wherever they came from. Capricorn is always trying to separate themselves from where they came from. You feel me? Yeah. Having Neptune at 3 degrees and your Sun at 1 degree, is that similar to having a 12th house Sun? No. No. Your Sun is conjunct to Neptune. Yeah, that's fine. But having your Sun conjunct to Neptune is not the same as it being in the 12th house. It could have some certain similar things going on, but no. Having your Sun conjunct to Neptune makes you psychic. It makes your dreams mean more. It makes you the type of person who people can kind of sometimes misconstrue who you are. Like, my lady has Sun conjunct to Neptune, and my Sun happens to be opposite to that exactly. So my Sun is exactly opposite to my Neptune because my Sun is at 4 degrees of Cancer and my Neptune is at 4 degrees of Capricorn in my 3rd house. And so her Sun is at 4 degrees of Capricorn, while her Neptune is also at 4 degrees of Capricorn. Because I was happen to be born in the retrograde where hers wasn't. And so all of that being opposite to that right there, like, I have been able to understand, like, sometimes I have no idea who she is. Like, and it's not just because my Sun is opposite to my Neptune, it's because her Sun is conjunct to her Neptune. Like, there's just this thing where who she is and what she's trying to accomplish, sometimes like you can totally get it misconstrued. And so with that right there, like, you're real easy for people to project things onto in a certain way that other stuff wouldn't necessarily be so reflective of. Now, Love 12, you said, do I have any insight on raising a life path 6? Do I have a child with a life path 6? I know I got a couple of 3s. I think my daughter has a 6. Yeah, they're emotional people. Almost, having somebody with the life path 6 is almost similar to raising somebody that has cancer placements. You have to understand they take everything to heart and they really care deep down. And, you know, with them, it's about the feeling more than the result. And they're just kind of a sensitive person, and they, at the end of the day, they just want to chill, and they want to be able to nurture people and help people and love people, and they want to learn how to commit to people in a healthy way. So their feelings are so sensitive because they're really looking for their chance to latch on to something and love it the right way during their lifetime. So yeah, there's that. Thank you for coming. Where did I miss somebody else's stuff? Oh, 5th house, stellium in Capricorn. If you want to know about a 5th house stellium in Capricorn, ask Astro real quick. But now, for real though, with a 5th house stellium in Capricorn, it's hard for you to relax. Like, and when you do want to relax, like, you take that serious too. Like, you're gonna plan for that, and ain't nothing gonna stop you off of that. Like, you're the type of person who plans for vacations. But other than that, like, you just really take a lot of things more seriously than a lot of people, and it's really hard for you to relax because of that. Weather alert, severe thunderstorm warning and shit. Now, Moon conjunct Lilith transit. Oh man. Well, with that Moon in Leo then, and that being conjunct to Lilith, that would suggest that with that Leo Moon, there's gonna be some times where you overstep your bounds, or you take yourself too seriously, or you blow something out of proportion. And if you can't just let it go, you're gonna have to humble yourself and apologize to everybody concerned, and learn how to grow from that. Alright? Because if you can just do that, like I tell everybody with a Leo Moon, then your life can become the pure radiance that it was meant to be. Remember that. Now, put that out right there. Let's look at it like that. Brody on Brittany, what would a 4th house Saturn mean? A heavy ancestral karma? Probably. Yeah. Families, things that seem like it's limiting you and holding you back, that you gotta work past and work through if you want to effectively grow and mature from that. Synastry question. 5th house Aquarius stellium. So what do you mean by that? You have to elaborate to what you mean like that. That's not really a synastry. I mean, when you say a synastry question, you can say, they have a stellium in my 5th house in Aquarius. They have an Aquarius stellium that's in my 5th house. That would be more like a synastry question, because then I would be able to put it into perspective. Just so I can answer it in a wholesome way. I want to be able to look at the question in a way that I can understand. Oh, it's hailing out there. Yeah. Um, 13 Moon Lily, you said, would an Aquarius Jupiter boost the ego of a Leo Sun in North Node? You can't think of how else you would word it. Well, here's the funny thing about that. Is my son is a Leo Sun. And I don't know where his North Node is. I haven't even looked at that. But his North Node might be in Aquarius. But my oldest son is a Leo, but he's an 11th or 12th house sun with Leo. He's a Virgo rising. And, well, really, he's right there around that 29 degrees. So his whole first house is Libra, 28, 29 degrees, but he's a Virgo rising. But, he, with that right there, and his Aquarius Jupiter, like, he's a team player. Like, he's always about his friends. Like, that's the thing. Like, he does have certain Leo qualities where he's very confident, but him is more of a quiet confidence. And with him, he's very intelligent, and he's very resourceful, and he's the type of person that can be a friend with anybody, and he's a team player. So his ego never gets in the way. So I don't think it would boost the ego. I think that Leo North Node is boosting the ego, because that person needs to become more confident. It's like the universe is urging you and pushing them into it. Like, you got to become more confident. The ego, sometimes it has to be killed in order for you to realize a lot of the bullshit that we attach our identity to is false pride. So real confidence is going to come through the spiritual path and working on things from a healthy perspective with that. You feel me? Like that. But yeah, and dealing with my son, like, I just kind of sometimes see him taking a background more than he should, and I think that has to do with his Jupiter and Aquarius. Now, what's ironic is my baby son has an Aquarius sun, but a Leo Jupiter. And he's a whole different bag of oranges. Because he seems very shy and reserved. And most of the time, like, who he comes across to people outside of his comfort zone is way different than who he is on his own. Like, he were fucking at the house, show out. He's the center of attention in our home. And he's the type of person that, like, he's a bundle of character. And he's always, you know, with his Pisces rising, like, just a different person when he's in his comfort zone or when he's in his element than he is when he's out of his element. Because when he's out of his element, he just is disassociative. And so there's that 12th house Aquarius sun and that Pisces rising. But him having Jupiter in Leo, though, he really just flourishes in confidence through his interactions with people and through his presence. You said Pisces 4th house. What about it? Love 12, you're exactly right. What are you asking me about Pisces 12th house? I hope I'm okay, Sage Corner. I'm maintaining. God, dog, hold up. For hell breaks my window. Sorry, y'all. It's a badass motherfucking storm out there. Matter of fact, it's been storming pretty bad in a lot of places here. I don't know what's going on with the rest of the world, but there's been storms. That might be Saturn retrograde in Pisces shit. Like, people being trapped under the ocean, fucking crazy ass storms. So, yeah. Young God, stop playing with me, bro. No, I ain't ever had no motherfucking dreads. I don't approve of dreads, homie. Maybe it's because that is just not part of my era that I grew up in. They didn't have dreads when I was coming up. And I'm from Texas. So you had braids or fades. And you picked whether you had a braids or fades depending on what side of town you was from. So there was a time when I had braids, or I was trying to get braids, but when I got growner, I always had like a bob fade or something, until I ended up having hairline issues. Now, Dongos, ask me the questions again. And 13 Moon Lily, you said your sun's rising is on your Venus and Sagittarius, and his moon is on your sun and Neptune. I mean, that's your sun. You know, he loves you and you motivate him, but he also has no idea who you really are. He has an idealized vision of you. And what else we got going on? Eight of Muse, Uranus in the 10th house. What are my thoughts on that? You want to do something unique and new and innovative, so you're kind of restless. You don't ever want to settle down into anything or commit to anything because you're always looking for the next opportunity to do something that, you know, really electrifies you. Something that you can get caught up in. And so, Dongers 23, you said you want to know about family, karma, etc. And, you know, and it's because your sun is in Pisces in the 4th house, or Saturn and Scorpio in the 12th house. Both. Well, I would say the Saturn and Scorpio in the 12th house is probably your karma. The sun in Pisces in the 4th house is family karma. And do you have addictions in your family? Do you have people that have laziness problems in your family? You have people that don't ever deal with their stuff? It's like you have to find your inspiration and your purpose and your creativity so that you can be divinely inspired and break that cycle, if that's the karma in the case. So yeah. Say's Corner, you said you have Scorpio in the 4th, and that's your Pluto placement. So yeah, family stuff. Yeah, definitely family stuff. Hey, it's all love, fam. Anything I can do to help. Anything I can do to help. Hey, you have to allow yourself to feel things with your North Node and Cancer in the 5th house. And through allowing yourself to feel things, it will wake up the creativity in you. And, you know, you're here to maybe have a family and have kids and nurture them and have fun. And you yourself are here to create and be fertile. And that doesn't have to be literally in their biological sense, but it could also be in a creative sense. So allow your emotions to be fertile. Allow your feelings for yourself and your people to kind of set in. And then that allows you to build connections. And through those emotional connections, then you allow things to grow from there. So it's about energetically nurturing your fertility with that. For real. Now, what else we got? How do I feel about 3rd house placements? I mean, 3rd house placements are 3rd house placements. What's good in the neighborhood? That's what I feel about 3rd house placements. You know, yeah, of course, you know, how's your connections with your brothers and sisters, your cousins and shit? What was grade school? And when I say grade school, I'm talking about anything that's, you know, up through like your junior or senior year in high school. And for people that didn't go to that type of schooling, are 16 years old, 17 years old. 17 years old is really pushing, is on the other, starting to cross that cusp. But you know, anything up between there and the interactions and the environment and the lessons that are learned within that realm. So I mean, there's so much things going on in the third house. It depends on what you're talking about specifically. That's the vibe right there. Oh, hold up. Let me get back to this. Stage Corner, you said your sun is in the third house. Then, hey, you're gonna flourish in any environment where learning is valued. Ada Muse, you said, is Jupiter an indicator of dad or Saturn? Both of them in their own way. Both of them in their own way. Is there a negative of having Sun and Mercury combust? Yeah, you can develop tunnel vision, and you can get dogmatic, and you can end up suffering from exhaustion or burnout because you've been focusing on one thing for too long. Cosmic Rose, what's cracking? You said, what's Moon in Virgo square Pluto and Sagittarius like in Synastry? Well, Moon in Virgo is kind of somebody who's paying attention to the details. The person with Pluto and Sagittarius is always going to be just trying to see things from the largest perspective possible. They're trying to see things as objectively and from as detached as a perspective as possible, so they can see the actual truth. And then there's this thing where Virgo is very committal in its own way. It might not be intimate, but it's committal, and it can also be with the Moon in Virgo, be analytical, critical, and technical. And my sun is a Moon in Virgo, but their Pluto and Sagittarius, in its own way, is kind of coming in and like wanting them to be more positive and wanting them to keep looking around and to keep searching and to keep pushing. So there's the conflict. Like, you have to learn how to see the forest for the trees in some way in that relationship. Like, the person with Pluto and Sagittarius isn't going to demand perfection. The person with the Moon in Virgo is going to demand perfection. The person with Pluto and Sagittarius is going to be non-committal and not going to be dependable like the person with the Virgo Moon is in certain instances, because the person in Pluto and Sagittarius has a hunger for experience. The person with the Virgo Moon has a need to be useful, has a need to be needed. They need to be needed. They need somebody to think that they are able to offer a specific feeling or service that nobody else can. And Pluto and Sagittarius is always looking for that. But the problem is they disconnect. So if they could just realize that they both have that in each other, it would be awesome. No, I don't pay attention to quintiles and biquintiles. Some people do. I've taken note of them sometimes, but I don't. It's not something that I care to elaborate on. I like to tell people sesquadrix and quincunxes and up. And of course, we can talk about declinations in their own way, but you know, sesquadrix, quincunxes, sextiles, trines, squares, oppositions, conjunctions, and the declinations. I can fuck with all of that. But some of it, you know, and semi-sextiles. I won't forget semi-sextiles and semi-squares. I do look at those all the time. So, yeah. That's the vibe right there. Hold up, let me see. I missed somebody else's questions. Is Venus only converse with ensign conjunctions? Combustion is always about proximity. So if you cut something at 0 or 1 degrees and something else being at 29 degrees, you might consider combust, but an out of sign. But it's combustion is about proximity more than anything else. But I would definitely say the ones that are in sign are going to be more prominent. You feel me? Miss Bless, you said Pluto in the 3rd house when it comes to using only as a positive advantage. What would I say? Where you're very clever, you're very sharp, and you're very protective of the doorway to your senses and your mind, because you like to observe and judge things at the same time, and you feel like other people are going to do that to you, so you're very careful about what you allow people to see, and you're also painfully self-aware, and that right there can be awesome for you. But when you can attribute some of your own mental qualities to people, sometimes that can be scary for them. Not everybody can handle that. That's the shit right there. Let me run that back. I love that piano right there. One more time. Yo. Insight about having Pisces on the IC. I mean, for me to speak about having Pisces on the IC or say something, I already kind of talked about Pisces in the 4th house like I did earlier, people. But I mean, like I did for somebody earlier. But having Pisces on that IC, it can be confusing where you came from sometimes. You could have been, besides being raised in possible, people who weren't available, or people who weren't, or an environment where your parents were intoxicated in some way, or where you were adopted, or where you were, just disconnected from your real connections, or you really had no idea who your people are. No matter how you look at that, with Pisces on the IC, like, you have to realize you have a spiritual connection to your roots. And so that would also mean you have to learn how to forgive certain things because of that spiritual connection, because of that divine influence. You're going to have to learn how to forgive certain things about your past and about your family, about your people, in order for you to break out of certain cycles. So that right there is going to be a prominent theme in your life, in order for you to do and be a useful person as you move towards your midheaven. No, I do not have this playlist available. This is my personal shit. I have some of the playlists available on YouTube of some of the stuff I play every now and then of other artists that I've bought or that they have given me permission to play. But when I'm playing this stuff right here, a lot of this stuff is my personal stuff that I made myself. So I'm very selective about what I do with it. Now, let me answer everybody's questions. I don't want to miss anybody's questions. What's up, Heather Nis? What would I say about Uranus conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius? Then your positivity is going to open up unique opportunities for you, and you know, you believe life is going to get better for you, so it is, and you know, you're going to be able to enjoy things that other people, you know, think that it's going to be a bore, or not even a bore, that other people are going to dread, because like you're able to just see things from a positive light. So that just opens so many doors for you. It gives you a unique perspective. It gives you a unique genius. It allows you to put you in tune with different things that other people would never pay attention to, because they were never open to it. So that's a unique blessing of insight and genius. Now, Astro Girl Quay, you said, is having Pisces moon in the 7th similar to having the Pisces Venus? It could be, yes. In your case, it definitely could be. Now, Jupiter square Pluto. Man, with Jupiter square Pluto, this life is certainly going to have its ups and downs for you. And when you can overcome your own tendency to exaggerate and overextend yourself and be over dramatic, then your shit is going to improve a whole bunch, because you blow up a lot of situations yourself and make them worse than they have to be with Jupiter there. And you're powerful and you can deal with it, and like, but you have to stop making things harder for yourself. Like, you don't, you know, you don't have to create conflict. It's like this. Let's look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the type of individual that sometimes people wouldn't even have a problem with him. He would create a scenario in his mind like they had a problem with him so that he could perform better. So understand, like, just because you're up for a challenge don't mean you always have to be in a challenging situation. And then your energy will be a lot more efficient and you'll be able to regulate it a lot better. So there's that. Yeah. I'm taking y'all to France, 1770. French rock. And we're gonna be here for like 20, maybe 30, 45 more minutes at the most. And then we're gonna dip out. I can't sit that long for free. But I'm gonna be here and help out as much as I can in the time being, though. So, what's next? Sun trine Venus in Synastry. Yo, that's beautiful. That's creative. That's another one of those fertile energies. That's where the Venus person, you know, really values the Sun person's presence in their life, and they're really, you know, motivated by that. And the Sun person is really attracted to the Venus person, you know. And likewise, that's just a very fun and loving and affectionate connection if it's in the right signs. But if it's in the earth or something, it's even more solid. It's something that's solid and long lasting, and it's something that's worth it. Because because there's practicality built into the mix and there's realism tempered in. Let that seep in like some steam. Capricorn moon 13 degrees. Hey, Capricorn moon 13 degrees. Faces 8 degrees in the first. What can I say? You might be a reflection, but sometimes you come across with a stern demeanor, and you're somebody who you see life as being very serious sometimes, and you take things seriously to such a certain extent that sometimes you're a hard person to get along with. But this could also say that you just got to stop comparing yourself to other people, or stop, comparing other people to yourself. That's even better with it being in the first house there. And you carry a certain business face sometimes too, or poker face too. Let's just say that. Now, faces, I don't really follow, so you would have to explain that yourself. But with your Capricorn moon in your first house with 13 degrees, I can definitely get with that. You understand? I don't want to say you wear your emotions on your sleeve, because you don't really show a lot of emotion to a lot of people. Because, I mean, you don't really like to be vulnerable or exposed in that way, ever. So, yeah. Can I explain about Uranus conjunct the moon in Sagittarius in the first house? Yeah. You're very intuitive. You're very unique. You have different feelings that come up, different impulses that come up, and sometimes you feel like you just gotta follow them. So you can seem like you're non-committal and you're somebody who's restless. And you are kind of restless in a certain way, but you're just really trying to look for that opportunity for you to be enlightened, and you'll find it. You'll find it. And your willingness and your stubbornness and your eccentricity and your uniqueness just shows on you physically. Like, there's something about you that stands out. And even if it's just that smile that doesn't quit even when shit gets fucked up, like, that's something. Sometimes it feels like you know something that nobody else knows. That's cool. That's definitely cool. What else we got? Aquarius sun, 0 degrees. Taurus moon, 29 degrees. Well, that 0 degrees Aquarius sun can be a little bit less friendly than the other Aquarius suns. Now, you're cordial, but at the same time, you don't really, once again, like to be connected to anything, because for you with that Aquarius sun, like being connected to something or being, you know, stuck with somebody in a situation even can make you be sloppy. And so you have to be able to keep your options open in order for you to make the best decisions, in order for you to see the brilliance in every situation in life sometimes. And that doesn't mean you're not capable of having relationships. It really just means you're very, very comfortable operating on your own and doing, especially with that Taurus moon. Like you're very cool, calm, collective. You're very comfortable in your own skin. You feel safe within your own presence. So that right there is very unique in itself, and that allows you to be very disciplined. That allows you to be business oriented. It allows you not to get confused, and ultimately, that right there is a unique genius in itself. All of that, it gives you an incredibly, incredibly unique energetic signature, Miss Nana. I feel you. Bye. We got about 8 more minutes, so let's make the most of it. Let's get these questions out of the way. Let's hit that CashApp. Let's motherfucking let me love you the right way. Let's hit the like button if you ain't hit the like button. Let's drop a comment. If you ain't subscribing, you're here, you need to be subscribing. If you got a chance, go share this so people can watch it later. Do what you can do to contribute to the cause. Because I'll do my part. Bye. Man, the moon is gonna go into Virgo tomorrow. Gonna spend the whole weekend in Virgo, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm telling you now. Not at all. You talking about my music? You can find rap here on YouTube. You can find a few old music videos. I have some music here on my page that I used to do way back when I was a little kid, you know, in my early 20s, but no. It's none of my beats that I made. Like a lot of this stuff I keep personally. I play here, and there's some, I have one beat posted here on my YouTube channel here. But see, the thing is, when you don't have a name, here's the problem. Let me tell you what happens with producers. When you have an extreme skill that you are proud of and that you value, the problem is if you're not famous and you don't have a name, then you're not going to get paid what you feel like you're worth. So you have guys that can put together a beat package of 300 beats, and they're just hoping that they can keep sending beats to producers, to artists, and eventually an artist is going to choose one of their beats and pay them, $50 or $100 for it, and then use that beat to make it big, and then that artist is gonna contact them because they use their beat and they're gonna get paid off that and all that other shit. See, that's what happens. And I've already had a record deal when I was younger rapping, and I didn't make it big. I had a record deal with a big company, but through a smaller endorsement, and so I had that chance, and that just wasn't what my life was about. So here with this right here, when I do make beats or when I do display stuff of mine, like it's just me expressing to y'all and me here making the vibe with y'all because this is me being the vibe. But beyond that, like people like myself, people like Beats by Bless Zone Out Music, people like Jazzy Madura that's here on the channel. Like, unless we have a name already, you're not gonna get paid what your skill is worth. And there's some people like, well, I'm okay with grinding and making away from myself. Well, that's cool, but I'm not anymore. That's not what my path is to do anymore. I do that as a creative expression, and to be honest, I haven't made a beat in about 2 or 3 years. Or no, I haven't made a beat since about 2 years ago. When I was here, I made my last beat when we were here on the channel. And other than that, I've been working and doing other stuff. And then the last 6 or 7 months, I've been dealing with back-to-back life circumstances where I haven't felt real creative. And Saturn was in my 5th house, or is in my 5th house, so that's a big thing. Conjunct my moon, so I just don't feel the urge for that. But basically, I'm not willing to sell or share my productions because I don't feel like they were, other than people were appreciating them here, which is what I love, they would never get the value that they're worth to me because, you know, unless you're trying to take some of mine and I know you're about to do something special with it, then it's not worth it to me. And even if it's not about the money, if I don't trust your artistry, I would never allow you to touch my beat. I don't care how much money it is. And I don't trust very few. I don't really like the rap style that's been implemented these days. So, unless Nas or Jigga or 8Ball and MJG or Too Short, and I mean somebody that, you know, I don't even think he can rap good enough, and he's one of my favorites. But unless it's gonna be somebody Andre 3000, like unless it's gonna be somebody that's finna get on something of mine and we are going to make, unless I see it. Now let me tell you something. That doesn't just rule out a name, because that would be me being different. If I ever hear an artist, and I don't listen to anybody new, so that's the problem. But if I ever just be out and about and I hear a fucking artist and I'm like, hey, that's what my music is for, and maybe God will direct that to happen one day. But if I ever hear somebody and I'm like, that's who it's for right there, other than myself, I'm gonna be like, hey, you know what? Hey, bro, this is what it is. This is what it was made, you know. But I've never heard that, and maybe one day I will. And even when it comes to artists or older artists or artists with a name, maybe one day I'll be hearing somebody and I'll be like, you know what? That's who needs to be on this. That's who needs to get this. And so that's just something that I would do. But even you, Beats by Bless Zone Out Music, I know you just be expressing yourself, bro. But like, I would not be sending people my beats like you do, bro. Like, at the very least, people might be, you know, jocking you. At the very most, somebody might be cutting your tag out and saying it's theirs. And what you're gonna do mostly as a producer is make loops. Like, you'll make the beat and you'll play it with your tag, and then you can let that be available for download in certain ways for free or for $4 or $5, and that's, to me, not even worth it, because you don't know what people are doing with it. You don't know where that's going. But you could also, with that, like, you could easily have somebody take your stuff and switch instruments, or they could take your whole concept and move a couple of things around track-wise, and all of a sudden your idea got stolen, or your ass is assed out. Or what happens when you make a beat and you send it to one of these rappers, or you send it to somebody who has a name, and they show it to another producer who's not really a producer. They show it to somebody like Hitmaker, who is like Young Berg, and they show it to Young Berg or Hitmaker, and he takes it to his producers on the low, and he's like, replicate this. I need something like this, or I need you to redo this, but switch this up so we can. And that shit happens. Hold on, let me answer this. It's my lady. Damn, I fucked up. Have you ever meant to send something and then just deleted it? I do that with readings all the time, especially in retrograde. Like, I will finish somebody's reading and I will go to save it or go to send it, and I will just delete it and have to redo the whole thing over. Like, I've done that several times over the course of my career. Like, I would get it done and be like, man, I went hard, and then I'll just go delete it. Especially in retrograde. I was like, what the fuck? Hold on, let me answer this. But yeah. You gotta be careful, bro. This is the Neptune and Pisces culture. People are looking to mimic somebody. People are looking to live inside a facade. And hell, you got people that's playing like they're you. Hell, we had priceless knowledge of self here yesterday. Not priceless knowledge of self. We had priceless knowledge of self here yesterday. Like, man. You got people literally making fake scamming shit of you all over. Profiles of you. You will see your own picture. Friend request your ass on social media like it ain't nothing. My beats are heard right here. Bro, you have to be you have to be careful and selective who you fucking around with. What are you laughing at, Cosmic Rose? Like, the priceless knowledge of sheriff? Like, that shit was a trip yesterday. We're sitting right here in the live yesterday, and a person came in. He said they were priceless knowledge of sheriff, and if you had any questions, go ahead and answer, because the floor is open for them to answer any questions you may have. And I probably needed that, because I was sitting here so stressed and worried and in a pity party that I was just fucking probably dragging everybody down into the pit of despair. So I'm trying to be careful with that today, in the very least, you know. Like, scamming is at an all-time high. People copying people, people mimicking people, people jocking people. Like, man, let me tell y'all something. Speaking of which, I'm watching the Monique Netflix comedy special. And I used to like Monique, but now I don't. Not only because the shit she says on her social media and the stuff that, the way she acts towards people, But also, because I'm sitting here watching her routines, and I swear to God, she stole several jokes from both Def Comedy Jam and from Mike Epps. Aries Ascending, I haven't had any flings. So I don't have, there's nobody that plays games with me like that. In the years since my channel has been established and so on and so forth, I have not had any flings and will not have any flings because I'm the type of person that doesn't fuck around like that. That's why I have to stay clear of certain situations, as you yourself know. Because I try to stay on my best behavior, and that's not always easy, me being me. And I want to be respectful, so I just kind of sometimes have to make sure I take a step back from everything. But when you're in these situations, like, people want to play. And there was a lot of people that came in yesterday. There was somebody came in spamming in another way, talking shit. There's people that came in and said they were gonna kill people. Like, yesterday was one of them wild days like that. Like, somebody came in like, they heard me say something like, I wish they would. I'll fucking kill them. And I'm like, hey, bro, we here to love people. We ain't trying to kill nobody, fam. So I mean, yesterday was just one of them days. And then Priceless Knowledge of Shelf came in there, and like that's what people do. Like, people mimic other people. Like, I share my content on Facebook, but not really other platforms. I used to have a Patreon, but I shut it down. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube before I switch to Patreon. I'm only at 5,000, and I'm only about to be at 5,000. Now, that's great for the time of span that I've been here, but I'm trying to, get that going like a spider web. I need it to start. Shh. But shout out to Priceless Knowledge of Shelf. I mean, crew, that made my day. That's the last thing I would have expected to see. But the thing is, with Instagram, you have like a certain time limit on on the video that you can upload. And smoking, if you're smoking, you can't be monetized on Instagram. They won't pay for the video. They won't allow or boost it. Like, the things I do are not Instagram appropriate, I guess. We're finna start a butt naked astrology OnlyFans. Fuck it. As soon as I get to feeling better, we're coming bucket naked. No, I'm just saying. Yeah. Hey, we got about 5 more minutes. Let's go ahead and get it out. I guess everybody done asking questions, so we finna go. No, we got 15 more minutes. I'm gonna stretch it for 15 more minutes, and then we out. It stopped raining. We're gonna call it the art of reading charts after dark. Yeah. Oh, I like it. I like it. The priceless art of reading charts after dark. Or we could call it cosmic diagnosis with Dr. Longstroke. Y'all got me misbehaving. Dang. Black Lives Matter is doing a burn and it's smoking out down there? What is the Black Lives Matter folks doing burning down shit in your neighborhood? Heather Nielsen? Don't they know you the commissioner of a multicultural global organization? Yeah.
Sky.
No, I ain't doing no fucking OnlyFans. My lady is a Capricorn with Venus in Scorpio. Fuck a bunch of that. I'm just giving you a hard time here. Ebony, you said Pisces Mars woman, Scorpio Mars man. What do I think? Hey, that's the motion of the ocean. That shit can get deep. But it can get so deep that it's overwhelming and confusing because there is no boundaries to the emotions that are involved between those two people in their intimate connections. And you know, the Pisces Mars woman knows how to submit, and the Scorpio Mars man knows how to take control. See, that right there is that 50 Shades type shit. That's the shit legends are made of. Sonny Test, you said meaning of Jupiter and Scorpio in the 8th house. What's it mean to be resourceful? What does it mean to have an interest and a talent for the hidden side of life, or an interest and a talent for the side of life that other people would, you know, forget or ignore or be deathly afraid of? What does it mean to keep going through things that would kill everybody else, but you just keep coming back stronger? What does it mean to be the type of person who can pull resources together? What does it mean to be the type of person who's the most powerful in crisis? That's what Jupiter and Scorpio in the 8th house is for your player.
Louis.
Yeah. I'm thinking about one day I'm gonna have a contest with this beat. Just this beat. It's not even my favorite one, but it's one I feel like people can recreate on it. I want motherfuckers to recreate. So I'm gonna put it up, make it a challenge on some type of social media platform or even, you know, here. And I actually have it in wave format. So I can send all the tracks over to somebody. And they can really make something with it, do something with it. And so I'm thinking about that.
Louis.
And I didn't make this by myself. I really just put that harp in there. But that's beautiful in its own self. Yeah. Let me see what else y'all got. Leo Sun trying Sagittarius Pluto with the Scorpio Mars. That's an intense connection. You gotta make each other feel alive right there. That's one of my favorites too. We're gonna call that Moonlight. Yeah, get my Milli Vanilli on. Shout out to my boy Mon. And boom. Yes, people overcome their natal squares. People can become stronger from their natal squares. You know? People that have a lot of squares have a lot of strength and they need it because they're fighters. This is my music, but I did not make this. I own the rights to this, but I did not make this myself. I had somebody make this for me and send this to me. And I sent them one in return. And it's probably one of my favorites that I ever fuck with. I could not even rap to that. So we're gonna close it out with this one right here. We got 3 minutes till close, so we gotta get it out of our system. We've been here for 2.5 hours.
90.
We will be back tomorrow for a priceless Top 5 Friday Vibrational. And I don't even know what that's gonna be about. Shout out to my partner 90. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say you have to avoid because there's other aspects that might be positive. I would be weary of somebody whose Pluto squares your moon and be aware that their Pluto squares your moon. And just awareness will help you, be cognizant of how they're trying to deal with you. With that controlling shit and that dangerous shit. Yeah. Hey. Reflection, you said your girl has Sag Pluto square your Virgo South Node and your Pisces, or your Virgo North Node and your Pisces South Node and your Pisces Sun. Oh, her. Let me read it. I hit the blunt, no smoke. Got to me. Let me read it correctly. Reflection. Your girl has a Sag Pluto square your her Virgo North Node and Pisces South Node and her Pisces Sun and Mercury. What does that mean? Well, first of all, once again, she can miss the forest for the trees because she's always looking for something that's right in front of her face with Pluto square her North Node. Now, with her North Node being in Virgo and then her having all those inherent Pisces placements, she's here to learn how to be regular and ordinary and live life and be healthy. Like, that's a big thing for her because she is otherworldly. She is divine. She is so mystical in her approach and how her energy comes across. She's empathetic. She's talented. She's just this energy that is a vibe in itself. But she's learning how to be a person. That's what she's here to do. And a lot of people, they're like, that's what you're but no. People with Pisces placements, people like myself, like, it's hard for me to be present sometimes. People like my son, who's a Pisces rising and has Venus and Mars and Pisces and all that shit's in his first house. Like, he has a hard time being present. I have seen him literally in the middle of a tackle football game, be in the backfield and go into a fucking sword fight by himself real fast. And he, and his mind just tuned out that fast. He turned into a fucking, a fucking Star Wars person or a Ninja Turtle real fucking fast. Like, she said top 5 disgruntled exes. What's with you and disgruntled exes today? Are you fucking disgruntled? You better not be. Do you have disgruntled exes coming around? But yeah. Hey, I got you, Reflection. Anytime, my brother. Now, man, I gotta stop worrying, y'all. That fucking brain of mine takes over sometimes, and I just start stressing and worrying for no reason. Let me see what else we got. Ebony, did I miss something you said? This is my music, yes. Sage Corner. something, son? Okay, baby. This right here get your mind right. Matter of fact, I call this mind right. I think that's just what I put because I was like, man, this will get your mind right. This helped me get my mind right here. And I was like, mind right. When I was trying to save it real fast. So that's what it ended up being called. Now, Cosmic Worlds, you said, do people overcome their natal squares to the point where it's a non-issue ever again? I already answered that. Let me go back up. My bad. I don't know how I got screwed up. My bad. Cosmic Worlds, you said you almost expect something to go wrong when somebody's Pluto squares your moon. Yeah. Most definitely. What's she trying to fight me for? Hey, did somebody here ask how long that it usually takes for a turnaround on my readings earlier? I think it was Cynthia Renee, but she might not be here anymore. Cynthia Renee, are you still here? That Pluto square moon is really intense, and I mean, there's this thing where the person can get obsessed, and that person can, you know, try to control or manipulate that other person to keep them connected to them. Let's go there now. It's a vibe. I was supposed to quit a long time ago, but it's like I can't. We're gonna keep going for a few more minutes then. As long as I'm vibing, we ride. Yeah. That piano is my go-to though. And just because I've been playing piano since I was 4 years old. Mercury square Neptune makes you daydream in life. Yeah, it does. And you also believe in things that other people believe in as make-believe with Mercury square to Neptune. And that's actually a part of your charm because, you know, part of you's always remained a child, but you have to learn how to communicate with people based on their perception, their beliefs, or you're going to get lost in a world of your own creation rather than the real world that you're actually having to operate in. And so, Pisces Mercury squares your Sagittarius Pluto. What does that mean? Her Pisces Mercury squaring your Sagittarius Pluto. Like, you keep bringing Pluto into the mix. Like, she can be real chill and you cannot be sometimes. Like, you're always searching. You're always, you know, pushing the envelope. You always want to know more. You always have to experience a deeper truth. And you are positive by inclination, but at the same time, like some people with Pisces Mercury, like they like to let things come to them. They're not pushing. They have to let things develop, and for them, everything has to be in its natural place or rhythm or the way that it goes with the flow. So when you're forcing things, sometimes it's hard to go with the flow. So there's the problem with that. Hey, bro, you already know I'm cold with it. I'm the best. I'm the best and most handsomest and vibingest and crybaby-ish and cockiest and most conflicted. But I love y'all. I'm all of that shit. Miss Blessed. Mercury square Neptune examples. I just basically broke Mercury square Neptune down just a few minutes ago. You have to go back and look for that yourself right there. I don't really know a whole bunch of people with Mercury square Neptune, so I would have to really assess it. My Mercury is in conjunct my Neptune. As a matter of fact, my Mercury is SeSsIoN my Neptune. But I have Mercury square Pluto. And that's a problem in itself. I have Mercury trine Saturn, sextile to Pluto, and SeSsIoN to my Neptune, semi-sextile to my Sun. Yeah. But really, that semi-sextile don't count because it's really like a 34-degree orbit. You would need, for a semi-sextile, it needs to be no wider than 2 degrees, really. 3 degrees at the very most, and that's stretching it. So, yeah. The realm of influence and the width of the orb is going to vary with the different aspects. Like, a conjunction is always going to be, for some people, 10 degrees or less. It depends on what it is, what planets there are, what astrological bodies that they are involved with this too. But I don't want to sit here and go through all of them determinations, but I would say 8 or 7 degrees or less is always that's good conjunction territory. If you can go 7 degrees or less, that's when you're getting into a decent conjunction. And when it's 5 or less, that's awesome. Now, with oppositions, it needs to be 5 degrees or less usually for me. Trines and squares, 4. Sextiles, sometimes 4, sometimes 3. It just depends on what's going on. Quincunxes, sesquadrates, semi-sextiles, semi-squares. That needs to be 3 or less. And in most instances, just 2 is really going to be standard for that. And if you're going to include septiles and quintiles and biquintiles and all that shit, like, you're going to have to look at that from, like, if that shit is wider than 1 degree, it's not even worth speaking on. And really, it's not even worth speaking on anyway, if that shit's not exact. Is Neptune in the 1st and Mercury in the 8th? Is that a tribe? No. Mercury in the 8th just wants to keep pushing. They're very investigative. And Neptune in the 1st is trine. You said it's in a trine. You said tribe. See, you autocorrect and I still read it wrong. I'm sorry. I just noticed it a second after that because I went into my solutions. I wouldn't know. It depends on what the signs are and how far apart they are. Oh, let me answer this text. My bad, y'all. Cosmic Rose, do house overlays mean anything? Like, their second house falls into your 8th house? Yeah, most definitely. You know, in certain ways. That's how me and my lady's chart kind of works out. Because she's born exactly 6 months apart from me, and she's an Aries rising, and I'm a Libra rising, we kind of fall to where our charts are exactly opposite besides our moons in a lot of ways. And that makes them very similar in a lot of ways too. And so, you know, certain things that affect her also affect me, and vice versa in a way that would be different of people who our charts weren't exactly opposite like that. So there is a certain reflective nature and there is a certain collective nature because of their hitting us both ways. You know? Like, especially like with Saturn, like my Saturn is in my 2nd house and her Saturn is in her 8th house. So my Saturn is in her 8th house and her Saturn is in my 2nd house. You get what I'm saying? So we might not always be great for each other financially. Then I got my hat all crooked and shit. How come y'all didn't tell me my hat was crooked, man? Don't do us like that. Let me answer this text right here. Alright. Reflection. Hold on, let me get Ebony's question. You said Pisces ascendant and Mars square Sagittarius 10th house stellium. Is that your problem with your career? Yeah. You're a dreamer and you're restless and you got big dreams, so sometimes you're looking for the next opportunity and you think the grass is always going to be greener on the other side, and it usually is, but that right there can make it hard for you to find anything that you can settle into, you know. Let me see what else. Her Neptune in Aquarius opposes your Leo Sun and Mercury. Well, Neptune opposing your Sun, and that just kind of means that she, first of all, she can make you act out of character. That's the thing with that, and maybe that's a good thing in certain ways. She can really get you out of your character, and she and her unique spiritual energy and the way that she feels to you inspires you to want to be different and inspires you to want to listen a little bit more. Hold on. My phone is fucked up. It keeps shutting off when I'm trying to send text. Is there anything else we want to do, y'all? Does anybody else have any more questions? Because we finna go if not. We can chill for a little bit longer. Maybe 13 more minutes at the most, for real. But other than that, like, if you have any questions, we need to go ahead and get them out of the way and get it cracking on the other direction. Reflection, you said her Virgo North Node trans your Capricorn Moon and sextiles your Scorpio Mars. Then you can help her go into her real self. Your disciplined nature, your leadership, your conscientiousness, your relentlessness can really help her become the self that she needs to be in life, and really help her, you know, grow into her North Node. Alright. Serafina, what does palace mean to me? Well, there's different ways you can look at palace, really. Palace can be people's special talent. Palace can be palace can in a certain way be what's the word I'm looking for? The reason. Palace can be the collection of somebody's way of it's their energetic expression in its highest form. Like for me, I have Palace and Leo in my 10th house, and I have Mercury and Venus and Leo in my 10th house. So at my core, you know, and in a certain way, I have a stage presence, to say the least, you know. And so Palace can be mythological. There is a mythology with Pallas Athene. I mean, it's Athena. I don't have it right on the top of my head, and I don't want to lie to you because I get them all mixed up. So I don't want to, you know, lead you astray. But really, Pallas is just, in its own way, it's the intellectual woman who values her ideas over her femininity. And I think I saw that somewhere on Google. So that's not even. I think that's. I heard that, or I saw that somewhere, and I really stuck to that right there. And wherever Palace is going to represent, you know, the challenge that both women and men are going to face in reconciling the feminine aspects of their nature with courage and strength and success and intelligence. So in a way, it is your hidden talent. There's some stuff inside of you, you know. And it's about learning to be receptive of the traits inside of yourself that, you know, have been generally associated with masculinity in certain ways. So for me, I feel most strong and I'm most powerful with my Palace in the Leo in my 10th house when I'm here and I'm entertaining people and I'm in this mode where I'm in command of the room. Like that right there is me being receptive of those things. What's up, Cookie Monster? Yeah, I do what? I forgot what did I say when you said yeah I do, Sarah Peter? Palace in Capricorn in the 9th house. Oof. I mean, you might have some unique business skills with that. You might have some unique administrative skills or legislative skills with that. You know how to get the most done with the least amount of effort or energy with that. You can be both practical and spiritual at the same time. So, I mean, there's a lot with that. I would have to see where it's aspecting to really look at what's going on with Palace of Thing. I don't know. 8 more minutes till we out. Here we go with Palace Christian. How much does what cost? Palace and Aquarius in the 7th house. You know how to see the uniqueness in different people. And you know how to allow people to feel free within a relationship. And that right there is like a superpower in itself. Like, you literally know how to make people, you know, see the uniqueness in themselves, and you bring out unique qualities in each individual person that you interact with, and you allow each person to develop independent from that relationship within a relationship, and you give a lot of freedom in relationships, and that allows you to have really, really, really unique bonds with people. You said, how much does that cost to figure out Palace and what it's aspecting? Just for a Palace, to just talk about Palace and what it's aspecting, send me $22, and we'll go. we can go over that sometime. Just to look at Palace and its aspects, I'll do that for you. Now, because that'll be quick. There will only be 4 or 5 of them at most. And then a general interpretation, which I already half-assed gave you, of Palace being in that right there. So yeah. Her Cap Venus is square your Leo Sun and Cap Moon. She's very practical in those relationships, and she doesn't do anything really for the show of it. Sometimes she's not with the drama or the extra shit that you could bring into the mix sometimes. And wait, how is Capricorn square your Leo Sun and Cap Moon? That can't be. That can't be. I just thought about that. Because Capricorn on the Aquarius side is opposite Leo. Hold on, let me think. Now, Capricorn on the Sagittarius side is trine Leo. But as far as Capricorn, you have Cancer on one side and Virgo on the other. So you have Cancer opposite. So you can't, that's impossible, bro. Were you trying to trick me up? Because it didn't work. I appreciate the love, Serafina. That app got shit fucked up, bro. There's no way Capricorn can be square Leo or Capricorn. That's impossible. And we got 4 more minutes and we out. I gotta go brush my hair. I'm gonna put a relaxer in this shit and have it just cascading over my shoulders. Palace and Gemini in the 6. You're an intellectual, in your own way, and you know you're very perceptive. That allows you to see details that other people can't see. you're very versatile in your approach, so you never get bored. You are very what's the word I'm looking for here? Clever. And that allows you to handle the details. Not only can you observe them, you can handle them. So that right there is cool in itself. But you can get stretched too thin and fuck up your health with that too. So be careful with that part. Anybody have any more questions before we close it out? If any of y'all are interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, don't get at me in my comments. Get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. All right. And I offer a variety of services besides just natal chart readings. And I offer natal chart readings in a variety of ways, whether it be an audio recording or whether it be a phone call where we're discussing it on the phone together, or whether it be a video conference where we're looking at each other face to face and we're having an interaction. You can get mad at me with those. I also have a Pluto through Aquarius transit journey reading where I'm going to look at Pluto's journey through Aquarius over the next 20 years and look at all of the aspects it's going to make to your personal planets and give my assessment. And I'll offer that in all three reading forms. Synastry Readings. I offer that in all three forms. I might start offering solar return readings, which is something I haven't done, but I'm starting to consider it. I have, what else? I think that's it. Oh, I have consultations too. Transit tracking and consultations, to where you pay for 3 months blocks of us talking on the phone or having a video conference once a week for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on which you choose. And I will be tracking your transits for you for that week, and then I will give my my advice or my advisement on how to deal with that. And then any questions you have about astrology will also be able to be answered at any time. So basically, you would be paying to have me in your pocket for 3 months, because you would have access to me personally. You can always ask me questions, and as long as I'm awake and available, I'll answer what I can, and when I can't, I will be able to offer that for you. And so that's a service that's pretty cool with that right there. And we're gonna call that the Priceless Growth Package. Shout out to Tiara for teaching me how to put that together. Yeah, get at me. I used to offer life coaching and that shit, but my shit is fucked up right now. So I got to get myself back in the right place where I would be confident and able to do that. So I can offer transit tracking, and we can talk astrology, and I can give my advisement on that. But as far as principles of living and things like that, I'm gonna have to get myself in a better place for that. And that's just real. gotta do something about this fear. So I'm finna go, y'all. Reflection. You said her Aries Saturn sextiles your Uranus and Aquarius. Well, you're really friendly and you care about everybody, but she seems like she has a chip on her shoulder sometimes. And y'all can work out together, because you can deal with anybody, but you have to just figure out how to approach that in a healthy way. So I appreciate everybody's love and support. I will be back tomorrow sometimes with the top 5. All right. Wait. Young God, you said their Jupiter conjunct your ascendant from the 12th house. They're like a guardian angel in your life. That person and their presence in your life operates like a guardian fucking angel. I hope that answers your question. So I'm finna go for real, y'all. With that, I appreciate everybody's love and support. Y'all, please manifest positive things in my life. Pray that I get over this fear. Pray for my health. And I'll be here to serve you in any way that I can and help you out in every way that I can. Thank you for everything. Until next time.